Hey guys, Rookie Lock here, back once again. Hope everyone's having a great day. And today I'm just going to do a quick little update video of a couple things that I've came across in the last week. A couple things I bought, and a couple things that I've learned, actually. Something cool that I want to show you guys. But I'll start with this. My buddy owns a business, and little while back, they were fooling around in the basement. I think they were skateboarding or something, and they made a hole in the wall by accident. And when they looked in the hole, there was a huge safe laying there under a set of stairs. And surprisingly enough, the safe was already opened, which I only learned recently. And I offered Buddy if the safe is stuck there, there's no way getting the safe out, there's no using it or anything, so I offered him a couple bucks to take the lock out, which was quite the battle in itself. There was no room under there. The door opened about this wide, so I was lucky that I could get this thing out of there. But anyway, it's an extremely old Safelock. Funny enough, when you there's only one screw holding the back plate on, and when you take it off, there's no screw holding the bolt in. Before I take this out, I'll show you guys. And this thing is locked up now, and you can see here this thing barely barely makes any space free at all. It's like, I don't know, maybe 5 millimeters, I don't know, but that's enough to block the bolt work on this safe. And yeah, this thing is old. I think they were established in 1855 or something like that. But anyway, I'll show you the dial in a second. So this comes off, and obviously I don't have the dial in now, so the cam wheel comes off, and look at these wheels. They are absolutely massive. And I was surprised at first I didn't see the little square hole there, so I thought that these weren't that you couldn't change the combination on these. But sure enough, there's a place for a change key, and you can change the combination on these. Well, there's the C-clip. Have it all apart now. Just did some cleaning to it. So yeah, pretty neat. One thing that I knew these existed, but I have no idea how this would be manipulated open, because there's no spring on the arm here, and when the cam wheel's in and the wheels are shuffled, I know not very many people know about Safelocks, but sure I have a couple people watching that do. So the wheels are shuffled, and we put the cam in. You can't feel a contact point. The cam, I guess it does ride on the wheel, which kind of surprises me. But yeah, I guess it does ride on the wheel, the cam wheel that is, and no gates are under the fence, but I don't think you would be able to feel any contact points in this thing. I'll have to find out once I get it mounted, which is going to be quite the ordeal to have this mounted, because I'll show you the dial now, which is pretty cool. It's J.J. Taylor, established 1855 in Toronto. So to have this thing mounted, you can see this is, let me see here. that's how thick the door was on the safe. And for those of you that don't know, ooh, on these newer ones, the whole spindle is threaded, so you can get away with mounting it to a really, really thin, thin plate like this. But for this one here, since the shaft is not all threaded, I'm going to have quite the time finding something to mount it to, because I think the thinnest I would be able to go would be something like that. I think I measured the thinnest I could go is, I don't have my, oh, here it is. I think the thinnest I can go is 2.5 inches, where I still have thread and enough mount for the cam screw there. So that's pretty cool. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to mount it, because it's not going to be as pretty as this one here, where I can mount it to a piece of plexi. I need something 2.5 inches to mount this, and there's no. This can only be mounted in a right-handed orientation, because there's only, you know what I mean? Since there's no spring on here, it has to be facing up, and there's only one key there on the cam. So that's going to be a project. I honestly, it's so hard to find thick wood around here. I have no idea where I'm going to find something like that. But hopefully I eventually will. And besides that, this was also in the safe. There was a little locked up little door, I guess, on inside the safe, and this was the lock on it. And I was pretty happy to find this as well, because I don't have any lever locks, and this is quite the beast of a lever lock. I think it's definitely a higher security lever lock. I don't know how someone would be able to pick this. It's I gotta get a flat key for this to make a key for it, but right now it's opened, or in the open position. This should come right off. So you can see right away it's open, and sure, you're looking at these nasty serrations. I'll lock it up to show you guys. Actually, I'll just leave this in here, but I'm sure you can see where I'm getting. There's really, really nice serrations on the levers, and I guess you would still call that a serration on the fence. Sorry about the focus, guys. Oh, that made it worse. Come on, camera, work with me. Oh, what a piece of crap. Okay, so this thing really grabs these wafers, or these levers. In fact, I'll just take one out to show you how much it grabs. Alright. So you're trying to lift this up to get to the gate, and you're going to really have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Vary your tension on this. You're going to have to go back and forth, and I think it would be a nightmare to get into. I can't help but wonder if, I can't help but wonder how someone like experienced with these, like Andy Mack, I wonder how he would deal with something like this. Not only the flat keyway, I don't know what kind of tools. I mean, I don't know much about this stuff, so, or these lever locks. I don't know how someone would get into one of these. Another thing I found kind of interesting about this is all these are different wafers. Obviously, I mean, that's not that surprising, but they're numbered in the order that they go in. They're not numbered in what wafer they are, they're numbered in the order that they were in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can count 5, and then this one doesn't have a number. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know why they would number them not in what cut they are, but in the order that they go in there. Kind of cool. Kind of interesting, I thought. I'll probably put these back in one at a time. And another cool thing that that I found out through yeah, I'll do this after. Another cool thing that I found out through my good buddy Paul Springett's video. I was asking him if these shackles were removable on the 334 Lockwoods, and he actually wasn't too sure about it, but Funky Monkey, I believe, commented and said, yeah, they are. You have to, and this is so cool, guys, you have to turn the key, unlock the lock, and with the key turned, you can depress this little, tiny little steel pin that's in there. And this camera sucks. But I thought this is kind of cool because if you, I think you just push the shackle in a little bit, and this is spring loaded, and then the shackle just pops right out. I thought that's the coolest thing ever. That's a really smart smart way that they designed an easy shackle change on this, where like the Abus, for example, you need to take the lock apart, which isn't a big deal, but you need a, well, you don't need a special tool, but they offer a special tool. And this one here, you can do it with the lock assembled and with the key. Really user friendly. Thought that was really awesome. That kind of blew my mind when I did it, and it just popped right out, and there's no screwing anything up. There's no losing this pin. The ball bearing can pop out if you take all that stuff out, but, and to put it back in, you just do the same thing in reverse. Open the key all the way, push the pin in, and push the shackle in at the same time, and it's captive again. Thought that was pretty cool, and I had to show it in case it might help someone out. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. That's all that I can think of anyway. If I can come up with anything else, or when I get this huge chunk of metal mounted, I'll definitely show that to you guys. I can't get over this. I find it's really weird that this is not spring loaded and there's no place for a spring. Maybe some older guys are more familiar with that, but it kind of surprised me. Not to mention the thickness of these wheels, and just little piece of steel in there for the flies, and yeah, quite the old school Safelock. And I'm quite happy how the dial came out. This was a little bit rusty, and I just wire brushed it. Still have to clean the paint off here, but I want to find out if it's lead paint before I start screwing around with that, so I'll have to get a little test kit. But anyway, I'll keep you guys up to date. As always, thanks for watching. Don't give lockpickers a bad name, guys. Don't pick locks that you don't own or have permission to pick. And as always, I'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys.